right now we're all in our homes, and probably the two things that are concerning people is number one, their health, and number two, their finances. People are wondering, are they going to get the COVID-19? Are their children going to get it? Are their grandparents going to get it? And then, of course, there's the security of, work. Will there be work to go back to? And, the fear that maybe down the line it leaves people very concerned. And, in my videos, I have talked so much about essentials. But I suppose, and money, I suppose, as well, and about where people are using their money foolishly and not knowing what they're buying, is trying to show people that they are spending their money, their good money, on sickness. They're bringing sickness into the home without knowing about it. And then they are trying to say that a doctor or insurance or somebody is going to secure their health. Now we see that the doors are closed and people are told to stay at home. And everything is now being labelled as COVID-19, no matter what a person has. And, a flu is a flu, but a weakened immune system means that there is no foundation, no immunity. And a lot of people have underlying conditions. The only reason people have underlying conditions is that they have no foundation. And up until now, the pharmaceutical industry have taken care of sickness. They haven't eliminated sickness, but they have used tablets and drugs and surgery and different things like that at enormous expense. So money has been ploughed into sickness. People have been buying cheap, and paying dear. So when people buy cheap, people advertise things and say you can shop here and it's cheaper than somewhere else. You're actually paying to keep somebody else, give somebody else a better quality of life, while you, the shopper, comes out at the worst at the end of it. Somebody else is a winner, not the customer. With Modere, I have been trying to tell people down through the years to build your foundation. Get healthy food and put in your essential nutrients. That's it. And I was just brought my attention to it yesterday because my shopping arrived online. My minerals, I wouldn't be without them. My protein, they're adult multivitamins. My husband takes them. I take the liquid. My omega-3s wouldn't be without them. And I don't know if I have my protoenzymes are here too. And then, of course, we have non-toxic products in the home. Now, I don't have to buy them every month, but I do buy my nutrients every month. That is my insurance, that is my foundation, and that's why I have no concerns about the COVID-19 whatsoever. We just have our ordinary day-to-day concerns to live with without that fear. And we're not running the television, watching the television. See what's the next thing, and who's dying and who's sick and what are the statistics. And why we're in the home, and of course Modere, what Modere are doing is clean home. It's in the home, shop from home, from Modere, and you will be giving back to you. You're not spending your money and spending your health. You are investing in your health and you're investing your money, and you are getting returns. We now are benefiting from what I consider our investment. Small investment down through the years. And the great thing about the Modere products are so effective that they work within a very short period of time. Some of the videos I have done in the past, I have shown the chemicals that are harmful, and I have shown why people are shopping the wrong way from chemicals. And I have tried to show how, if somebody has an underlying condition, how this basic prescription for nutrition and supplements can reverse many illnesses. And even if people are concerned today about older people or people with underlying conditions, the same thing applies. They can come back, drink the water, take the minerals, take the protoenzymes and the omega-3s, get rid of the chemicals in the home. They can do it overnight or they can do it gradually. And they will experience the results within a very short period of time. So we now have a sickness industry that has its doors closed to people because it's overburdened. And we now have a wellness industry that is thriving because people have made the shift from physical shopping to online shopping. And that's done purely by recommendation from people who are health conscious. And what I was going to say about health, about people with underlying conditions. You know, whether a person has cancer or arthritis or irritable bowel syndrome or skin diseases or any of these diseases, the only reason they have them is because they are putting the wrong stuff in and breaking down the foundation. Put the right stuff in and you build the foundation. Now, I am often reminded when I talk to people, and I have people ringing me now, that are just, as I say, saying, they really are, I suppose, saying, I didn't really listen to what you were saying, but now I know that what you were saying is true. And so simple. But of course, in the past, when everything was going fine, everybody was rushing around, going to work and having meals out and building bigger houses and having holidays and everything else, which is all fine and good. But if you're not looking after your health, all of that will just, your house or your home or your health, it'll just fall down around your ears. Whereas when you have a solid foundation, anything that comes at you, you can survive. As I say, it reminds me of my mother. My mother was, I don't know whether she was probably 80 anyway. So it doesn't matter how old you are, your body will regenerate itself with these ingredients, these products, very, very quickly. I think she was in her 80s, and she had suffered all her life with blood pressure. And she was, because she was older, she was less active, and she would, when I go down and visit her, she would be sitting in the chair, and she'd be, an older person, as I'm getting there, trying to avoid any of the deterioration. But if they just haven't got the energy, they're sitting there, and after a while, I'd noticed that she wasn't reading the paper as much as she would, and if the TV was on, after a while she'd lose interest. She used to always enjoy the news, and unfortunately you wouldn't be watching it now, and she'd be watching the news or whatever program, and after a while you could just feel that she was just not able to sit up for a long period of time. And at the time I was, as I say, searching for answers and trying to put the jigsaw together to see what's causing the problem and how do we solve this, how do we get to the solution. And I brought home the Maximal to her. And when I brought home, I must say there was a bit of a flare up in the house, because my brother and his wife at the time, now they've changed their tune and they're actually on the products. But at the time they saw me coming and they said, is the doctor going to approve of this, and how do you know that this is right, and whatever, and all of that went on. And I said, no, I said to my mother, I said, look, just take 15 mils every night. That's all you have to do. Put it beside your bed, don't say anything to anyone. That was it. It all calmed down. So then I went back down the following month and brought my minerals again with me. That's all we had. We had very little at the time. This has gone back a long time now. I brought my minerals with me, and so she was taking them. And every time I'd ring, I'd say, the usual, say, how are you? And various, just chat away. And after 2 months, my sister-in-law got on the phone, and I said, hello, how are you? And I said, hi, how are you? And she said, your mum's after going downstairs. And she says, do you know, she said, I think I feel different. So she got on the phone, and I said, I was so excited. I said, really, ma'am, do you notice something? She said, well, she's a very practical woman. She said, well, I do, she said. Now, it mightn't last for a week, but I do feel better. She improved in herself. Now, at the time, she needed to have her cataracts removed. But because she was feeling so weak, she said, no, I'm not going to go through that operation. So that was shelved. And now she was beginning to after a week, she still felt okay. And after another week, she felt okay. And therefore, I decided to bring down another bottle to her. I brought down another bottle to her, and she was up in bed. And then she was coming up to visit me. It was just getting better and better. And so anyway, that's fine. So then she decided that she would, maybe I'll have my cataract removed. So it's fine. So of course we were very concerned. My sister was very concerned because she said, your mother has blood pressure and whatever. I said, don't worry, everything is going to be fine. So I brought her down. She went in to have the cataract done, and the consultant was there, and he said he was doing just another check on her eyes, and he said, Madeleine, that was my mother's name, is Madeleine as well. He says, oh, Madeleine, he said, and what medication are you on? And my mother had come off her blood pressure tablets herself. She was feeling so good. And I just answered and I said, no, she's not on any medication. But I said, we didn't take her off and neglect her. We've taken her off and we've actually supporting her system so that she will be well. So he passed no remarks anyway. She went up to the room. Nurse came in with the blood pressure machine, and I just went, oh, if this blood pressure is up now, my sister and my brother are going to go crazy because the operation will be cancelled and then it'll be you and your stuff, So the nurse came in, she took her blood pressure, said, that's fine, Madeleine, I'll be down for you. Somebody will be down for you in half an hour. My mother had her cataract done. And she went home and she read the paper and she listened to the news and whatever. At the time, it wasn't as horrific as it is now. And she would come up and visit me here in Athlone, and she led a very active life for an older person. And thank God, she died in her own home, peacefully and naturally. And I am so thankful that I had that experience of, being able to help my mother, as I do with my family here, my friends, now my extended family, because now my brother-in-law, as I say, and my sister-in-law, my brother and my sister-in-law are now taking with the COVID-19 and everything, taking the protoenzymes and the maximal, the minerals. So it's the power of them. So I say to people, I'd say, look, yes, if you're healthy and you're taking these products, that's great. You don't have to worry. Just don't be listening to the news, because now you're driving your mind crazy, and your mind, you're going to get fearful, and we don't want you to have fear. So just peace of mind. And then for people who are not taking these products, or not maybe building their immune system and going to the supermarkets and buying the usual stuff that's there, I would highly recommend that they use these products. You can get back to me, certainly. I support people, I phone people, talk to people. And if you have somebody who has a compromised system, definitely I will go through the program with you, and you will see not only the COVID-19 not taking hold, but also you will see their underlying condition. It may disappear, it may be resolved, or certainly it will improve. So that is, I was going to say something else now, I can't think what it was, gone out of my head. So the important, essential, as I say, essential nutrients, micronutrients, trace elements, amino acids. That's what I was going to say. The COVID-19, I was listening to scientist this morning. I spent 2 hours listening to a scientist this morning, and it's a scientist that I have followed for a number of years. This scientist, he is a cell biologist, and they look at cells, what affects cells, and how cells are affected by toxins and poor nutrition, and if their lifespan, and what helps them to grow again. And so anyway, he was talking about the COVID-19, and 2 things that are very important. One, the COVID-19 is not a living organism, which means that once your immune system is strong, the COVID-19 is not a living. The immune system will recognize it, deal with it, and clean it up out of the body. The other thing is, I may have said it before, is that our protoenzymes have 2 strains of microorganisms in them that actually are very target viruses very effectively and not allowing them into the system. Because when you have protoenzymes in your body, these are healthy microorganisms. If you think about your skin, the microorganisms are in your intestine. The microorganisms, once we're looking after our skin, the microorganisms, the healthy ones, are actually in the skin. Yeah, they're not sitting on top of the skin, which means that if a virus or something that's foreign comes to your skin, it's there and you just wash it off. It doesn't actually infiltrate the skin. It's the same thing with the gut. Once you have something that's effective in the gut, these go in and around the intestine, the epithelial cell of the intestine, and they are they're not sitting on the top of it. And then if any virus goes in, they then prevent it from going through the epithelial cell and getting caught up in the blood and being carried around, creating problems in there. So it's about protection and not allowing any illness in. So yes, I was going to talk about Modere, and they have a two-pronged, as I say, giving back to people. They're giving back their health, but they also give back. They look after our health, healthy bodies, healthy mind, healthy homes, healthy finances, healthy people. And again, that is, we're moving from physical shopping to online, to digital shopping. And when we, as healthy customers, when we recommend and teach and support other people, that is in the new business of today. So anybody can do it. Anybody can get as much health as you want, that's entirely up to you, or somebody can build a business as big or as small as they want. It's just a matter of we have to relearn a new way. It's not a matter of just coming in and saying, okay, I want to make $1 million tomorrow. It's not going to happen. You have to learn the principles of honourable business and doing business right and looking after people. But the great thing about it is you can only be a healthy person, a healthy conscious person. You can't just come in and say, oh, I'm just going to jump on the bandwagon here. If you're not honourable out of our business, then you're not going to come into our business, because it's only honourable people, people of integrity, because this company has social responsibility only to the customers. And so, as I say, it's direct from the company to the customer, and there's no middleman. We don't need middlemen. We just refer, and the products are distributed to the door. We don't need shops. We don't need salespeople, and we just need people to say, look, it's very simple. You do this, and you get amazing rewards. So I am just trying to say, try not to fear, try not to watch the television. Yes, things are going to change. Yes, people are going to lose their jobs. Yes, there's going to be challenges. But the challenge for us is to say, okay, it's not the end. It is the beginning of a better world, because we do have to clean up the environment, and we do have to clean up our homes, and we do have to take our health back, and we do have to be savvy about our money and about our health and about the choices we make and about the way we look after our children, and so on and so on and so on and so on. But they're all very basic, and they can all be done in the home, which is a great thing. And I think that's what we're learning now, is that anything that's been done in the home is coming to the surface very quickly. So we will see more and more good stuff come. So if I can just, as I say, hope that this has given a little bit of hope or a little bit of support to people, do not fear. The answer is here. All you have to do is decide, yes, I want solutions, not problems.